What's up, guys? Mike Tierney here from Princess Auto with Tech Tips with Mike T. Today we're going to be talking about winch accessories. First accessory we want to talk about are the roller Fairleads. This reduces friction to the cable while we're winching. Side-to-side motion when we winch causes major friction, and these rollers will allow that to be reduced substantially. Roller Fairleads are a must when we're winching with cable type winches. If we're using a rope type winch, we want to make sure that we use a Haws. A Haws allows the rope on a nice surface to come into the winch without any friction. These are a must when you're using rope. Do not use a cable type winch with a Haws. Probably one of the most important accessories are what we call D shackles or bow shackles. These are used all over when we're winching. They make our connection points to our cable, to our straps, or to our snatch blocks or pulley blocks. These are a must in your kit of goodies when you're winching. You can also use them as links if you've got multiples to create a longer stretch if you need to. When we winch, tree saver straps are a must if we're going to winch off of rocks or trees. We don't want to damage the tree by wrapping the cable around it. So we use the tree strap. Having a nice wide strap prevents that cable from digging into the bark, killing the tree. Or it prevents the rock from being abrasive on the cable. It's a must-have when you're winching off of any rock or tree. It's a good idea to have replacement cable and extra hooks. When we're out in the bush, if you don't have that cable and your cable snaps, you're kind of stuck. So if you've got some extra cable, maybe it's to replace if it breaks or to extend your reach. The hooks are a good idea because we can place them in different places to mount onto rocks or trees or another tow vehicle if there is one. Pulley blocks. These aid in mechanical advantage. They essentially double the line pull of the winch capacity. They must be permanently mounted onto the cable before you start winching, and they allow the cable to extend out and come back to the tow vehicle or the stuck vehicle and adds extra pulling power of the winch. Another option for pulleys is what's called a snatch block. It's a better way to double up your capacity of your winch. It has a nice butterfly effect opening. You can wrap your winch cable around, easily close it up, use a D shackle or a bow shackle to a tree saver strap or another cable, and it's a much more efficient way to doubling your line or even tripling your line depending on what your situation is. It's a must-have to have in your kits. Safety blankets. Now there are specific winch safety blankets. These go over top of your winch line once it's stretched out. And these prevent the cable from whipping or snapping if it does fray or break. That could cause injury to people around it or to the damage to equipment that it might hit. So this just adds a little bit of weight, it dampers the snapping action, and the winch cable will just drop. If that's what you want, you can also go with a moving blanket. So moving blankets are a great option. They're fairly low cost, and these hung over the cable will also act as a dampener. The beauty about a moving blanket is it's a blanket. You can just simply lay it out. If you want to separate yourself from the surrounding areas, so you don't want to lay in the mud or the snow or the sand, you can just lay it out, get underneath the piece of equipment that you might have stuck or need to fix, and it acts as a barrier. It also can act as a protection device if you're stuck out in the evening. Maybe you have to stay there overnight. You can use it as a blanket and to keep warm or shelter. So lots of options when it comes to moving blankets. Anytime we're winching, gloves are a must. You must wear gloves when handling the cable. Shards can form on the cable as it wears, and they'll cut you like a knife if you're not careful. So heavy palm gloves, they're, they protect up to your wrists, and, it's an important part when we're winching, especially for the safety side. Another great option are welding gloves. I use welding gloves versus the standard leather palm gloves. These allow us to extend that protection over our forearms so that if we are having to reach underneath the vehicle, maybe the exhaust is hot, it helps protect the forearm area. Plus, these can take a lot more heat than a standard regular glove. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Tech Tips with Mike T, where we talked about winch accessories. I'm Mike Tierney. See you next time.